Toucan Play That Game is proudly sponsored by NiceGameShop.com, the place to go for rare and unusual Asian games. Hi, I'm Michael. Take a seat and I'll tell you about Serengeti by GCT Studios. So this is a deck builder game designed specifically for 2 players set in the Serengeti. The idea of the game is that you are tracking creatures that you then add to your deck that then allow you to do other interesting things. Now, what makes this game different to other deck builders is firstly that it's designed purely for 2 players, but secondly, there's no costs with regards to buying cards. You can take whatever cards you want from the market, and the costs come in with regards to powers, and all cards have 2 powers on. They have a top power and a bottom power. Now, sometimes the top power might be free, sometimes it will cost. The way you're doing costs in this is very similar to some other card games out there, such as Race for the Galaxy. You're using your cards. So whenever you need to pay a cost, your card from your hand is the cost. So you're deciding whether to use the card to pay a cost or to have its ability. And being a deck builder, of course, you start with very basic cards to begin with. Another thing that is different about this is you have this kind of track board here, and this is one of the ways that can end the game, as well as give you points at the end of the game. If someone manages to get it all the way to their side at 5, then they end the game, and that will be 5 points for them. And this gives a very much tug of war approach to this game, on this track at least, but you don't need to go for this track because the game has multiple paths to victory. You see, the game can end in several ways. Firstly, it's got a fixed length of rounds, and each round you reveal an event card that will either mean there's a specific animal that you cannot purchase from the market this round, or there'll be things like everyone has to take scorpions that are going to clog up their deck and cause them problems. Another way is for 5 stones to be revealed. Now, stones I haven't talked about yet. Stones are what kind of affect this market. You see, you can take whatever card you want, you add it to your deck, but then eventually you're going to reveal a stone. And stones are going to cause you problems because they block you from actually recruiting people. So that's an interesting kind of aspect of this game, that once you get these stones out, that's going to trigger the game end as well. So there's several different ways to kind of trigger it. And then at the end of the game, you're going to score points for the majority control of each of these creatures. So as you're playing, it's not just looking at what creatures do you want the powers for, what do you want to add to your deck. It's also looking about the majority control of that creature, who has managed to track the most of a creature. So yeah, this is a very thinky game. It's quite a heavy game for a deck builder. Obviously, it has the same deck builder element of luck that any do. Once you've added a card to your deck, when it's going to come up is going to be luck dependent. But what you choose to add to your deck and how you choose to use it, there's a lot of options. The fact that you've got the 2 different options on each card, the fact that you can use each card to pay for something or to use its ability, kind of creates a lot of different options to consider. And another thing I've not talked about is that you're able to put your lions into a nature reserve. And if you do this, then you're going to get points for that at the end of the game as well. So there's all these different things to consider. But what this is, in essence, is a deck builder. It has that luck, but it has so much mitigating it compared to a lot of deck builders out there. This is a deck builder for people who want a very thinky game, a very heavy game, but with a short play time. It's kind of the chess of deck builder games. And the replay value, although you have randomness with regards to when the stones are going to come out, what piles they're going to come out in first, etc., and with regards to the events, the cards that you're buying are always the same, so that kind of detracts from the replay value of this game. As well as that, the level of interaction and ability for chains and exciting combos just doesn't really seem to be there with these. There's a little bit of, and I draw cards to be able to do something, but for the most part, each card is kind of working independently, and a lot of the time, because of the nature of you needing to kind of compete on majority control for an animal, you're having to take it into your deck even though you don't want to, which is both good and bad on design, because it means you're having to make those tough decisions, but it also then means you've got things you can use to pay for the things that you actually want to use. So yeah, in summary, it's a game I'm just not sure about, and I know that's not a great thing to come out with as a reviewer. I think it's got a lot of good things going for it, but the dryness and the lack of variation means that I'm just not grabbed enough by this game. So that is Serengeti by GCT Studios. Do hope you've enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you have, please do check out the rest of the videos on the channel. It's worth sharing and subscribing. And as always, thanks for watching, and bye for now.